You here, I haven't seen this. I've been told it's the latest craze that is sweeping the world. It's called nose mouth. All the celebs are doing it. We've got Nicki Minaj, Ellen, Obama, even the royals are into it. I don't really get it. But
okay, that's disgusting. That's what that is.
Is it?
But yeah, I think it is. But it's a bandwagon we simply have to jump on. So we've done a bit of it ourselves, and these are the results.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's hot.
That's.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That kind of suits you. Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, and I tell you,
I'd be really stuffed if that was generally what we are, because I can't breathe through my nose. So if I didn't have my mouth, I wouldn't be able to breathe.
finally a nose big enough to fit all your snotty.
If you have just joined us, here's a quick recap of today's headlines. A group of 157 Tamil asylum seekers who've been held on a customs ship for nearly a month are finally being transferred to the Australian mainland. Tony Abbott is deploying another 100 federal police and a small contingent of Aussie troops to help protect the MH17 crash site. Aussie Al Jazeera journalist Peter Grester will appeal his conviction. He's on charges that he helped Egypt's outlawed Muslim Brotherhood. Australia has won 15 medals, including 5 gold, after the first day of competition at the Con Games in Glasgow, to be second overall on the medal tally. And American actor John Malkovich has slammed the Sydney Opera House, claiming it's only fit to host a circus, saying its acoustics are hideous. Maybe the fact his opera, The Giacomo Variations, was trashed by critics when it opened there in 2011 has something to do with his scathing comments.
Yeah, the difference is if they held a circus there, it would be popular.
It is a good
Maybe
point.
he couldn't hear the booze properly.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, now, Victorian opposition leader Daniel Andrews was on the warpath today about allegations in the Melbourne Age newspaper, but I'm not exactly sure what he was trying to say about it.
I want to make it very clear. The allegations in the Age today are wrong. The allegations in the Age today are defamatory. The allegations in the Age today are with our lawyers.
The allegations in the Age are also quite detailed.
And they are wrong, and they are defamatory, and they are with our lawyers.
What steps have you taken to confirm that they are wrong?
They are wrong, they are defamatory, and they are with our lawyers.
Could it be true that they are true and you don't know about?
They are wrong, defamatory, and with our lawyers.
All right, so there we go. But later in the day, he had a slightly more focused message.
What's in the Age is wrong, what's in the Age is defamatory, and what's in the Age is with our lawyers.
All right, we get the point. Okay.
Now, every parent knows how hard it is to balance work with a young family, but a damning report out today shows that those hurdles are bigger than ever.
It should be one of the happiest times of your life, knowing a baby is on the way. But a staggering 49% of working mums will face discrimination in the workplace.
This report is absolutely shocking. Really, to find out that 1 in 2 women in particular face discrimination at work was quite distressing.
The review heard submissions from working parents across the country.
Even though he knew I had morning sickness, he'd text me while I was vomiting and order me back on the floor immediately. I had bad back and leg pain, but I wasn't allowed to sit down. If I did, he'd click his fingers at me like I was a dog.
Time and time again, we heard stories from women who were told you can't have it all, you can't have babies and a career. Now, in this day and age, that is really outrageous.
The report also shows women are routinely sidelined, relegated to lesser roles and made redundant, and only 9% of them will lodge a formal complaint.
The statistics are incredibly disheartening. The laws that are currently in place aren't taking effect in practice. They need to be improved so that there's better protection for new mums.
Men too get a frosty reception when it comes to work-life balance, with 22% experiencing discrimination.
So I went to my employer and said I want to take paternity leave, and he laughed. That's for the mum. They don't make it easy for men to access leave because it costs them money.
The problem is so wide-scale that 32% of women who experience discrimination because of children simply opt out of the workforce altogether.
We're a rich country, we're a wealthy country, we're supposedly a progressive country, and yet we're still seeing this level of discrimination in the workplace. We've got to do something about it.
Elizabeth Broderick is the Sex Discrimination Commissioner and she joins us now. Elizabeth, these are troubling findings, but I mean, I know the first thing my female friends say to me when they're pregnant is, you know, I can't tell work yet. I mean, the results of this study can't be a surprise to you, are they?
They did, though, Kerrie, because I think just to see it so pervasive in 2014, 1 in 2 women, when we've made advances in so many other areas. I spoke to women who worked in factories, on the factory floor, who told me their stories, right through to the most senior executives in corporate Australia. It was across the gamut, so I think that's what was surprising for me.
Elizabeth, based on all the cases you've seen, is it predominantly male bosses that are perpetrating the discrimination?
See, that was the other really depressing thing, I think, as Australia's Sex Discrimination Commissioner, to see that it wasn't just about men. It actually was about female managers, female bosses as well. And surprisingly, some of those stories that I heard, the female manager actually had children herself.
Elizabeth, what do you say to some people who might be watching, who might feel the same way as Ben, who's given us some feedback on our Facebook page? He says, if I owned a business, I would be concerned about hiring a woman expecting or wanting to start a family if that came with extra costs that weren't to be compensated for. Nothing personal, it's just business.
Yeah, and that's the tension a lot of employers talk to me about. I mean, I met so many small business owners who were doing this really well. They were committed to making sure that they retained good female talent. They were open and honest with the employee, and they'd planned a transition back to work. So I think smart businesses are saying, you know what, I can't afford to put 50% of the talent of this country to one side, largely on the basis of child rearing and childbearing. I'm going to work with my employees to actually make this work.
Elizabeth, do you think it'd be different if, let's imagine a totally alternative universe where men had a greater domestic role, say 50%?
Where you gave birth?
Something like that. Well, you can imagine that if you like. That's fine.
I would love that day.
But even beyond that, so once the babies arrive, they were just more involved in the domestic side of things than they currently are. Would we be having this problem?
I don't think we would, because I think if we had the better sharing of unpaid work between men and women, it means that there would be more women being promoted at work, men would be more engaged in caring and family. That'd be a positive for all, and also men having babies.
I don't know about the men having babies, but the men being more involved, we are getting better at doing that.
I just want you to know, I would if I could.
But you can't. What a shame.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks very much, Kerrie.
Another side to this is that because of this discrimination or apparent discrimination, you have women and couples that are delaying having children or trying to. And I know couples that just kept thinking, oh, I don't know, we can't afford to lose our jobs, delaying it, and to a point now where they can't. So they left it too late because they're worried about their job security.
And the fact that women aren't speaking up either, because let's face it, when you come back to work, you find you're being discriminated against. You're trying to balance having a new baby at work as if you've got time to fill out paperwork and make a formal complaint and go through that process. And so women aren't speaking up, not because they don't want to, because they just can't.
Yeah, and it's a vicious cycle as well, because if you're, say you're a couple and the woman's facing this discrimination, and then you have to make a decision about who gets to keep working. Well, you're probably going to make the economic decision that men will keep working, which makes it even harder then for women to do it. So you just can never really break it unless you do something really radical about it.
I still want to work out a way to get Waleed pregnant.
For that. Time for a break now.
Sorry, can we leave that to science and not you and me?
Just give me a weekend, I'll sort it out.
We'll be back in a moment.
Wow.
Coming up, ever find yourself remembering things that didn't actually happen? The solution could be between the sheets. And wish someone else could live your life so you could actually have one? Well, there are people out there who'll do just that.
People paying others to line up for them for the Game of Thrones exhibition, which was a 6-hour line.
You're watching The Project.
Welcome back to The Project.
Well, thousands of music fans are flocking to Byron Bay for this year's Splendour in the Grass Festival, which runs until Sunday. The event sold out within minutes, and great weather has been forecast for the entire weekend. Among the bands performing are Outcast, The Presets and the Hilltop Hoods. And if you're sleep deprived, you will be after that weekend, you're more likely to make things up. Californian scientists showed people photos of a crime scene and gave them false details about the pictures. They found those suffering from a lack of sleep were more likely to report the fake facts than people who'd had a good night's sleep.
Joining us to discuss this are two breakfast radio hosts.
To be honest, because the survey said it was if you haven't had 8 hours sleep. Well, in the last 2 years, I have not had 8 hours sleep. So essentially everything I've said and done was made up.
Completely made up. Yeah, I can't remember anything. Seriously, I make up a lot of stuff.
You know, I actually think this could work in your favour, though, because I once went without sleep long enough that I became an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah. I was in Cirque du Soleil for a few years as well. Right.
That is such a funny image, you in Cirque du Soleil.
Me limping around with my fat guts in a leotard, trying to juggle.
We've already seen that on the show, Lehmo.
Yeah, some of my best work. Hey, someone who's certainly had plenty of beauty sleep is Miss Universe Australia, Tegan Martin, who was at the Queen Street Mall in Brisbane today. And I tell you what, there's been a lot of interest in her crown.
Now, this crown on her head here, $150,000 worth. It is amazing. 600,
my
I believe.
prized possession. I wish I could take it everywhere, but it comes with security guards. 631 perfectly cut diamonds from Hearts on Fire.
Hearts on Fire, guys. They're actually located on the lower level in the mall.
There is no one there. She is talking to no one.
What, have you never done a stand-up gig and not many people showed up?
Kerrie, stop talking about my last 5 comedy festivals.
That's mean.
Well, are you finding life's all getting a bit too much to handle? Well, now you can just get someone else to do it.
Day-to-day living can be a real drag. You make the kids' lunches, drop them off at school, do the groceries, go to work, pick them up from school. Ugh, just reading that makes me tired. So how good would it be if you could outsource all that stuff and free up some more me time? Well, our friend the internet is all over it.
Things that I'm not capable of doing to the best of my abilities, I generally outsource, and also time-poor things. So we've had people host dinner parties at our house, we've had people clean our apartment.
I run a removal company, and sometimes we'll use it to find work. If we've got some downtime, I'll just basically use it to hook up with small jobs.
Apps and websites like Help Me Help You, Airtasker and GoToGuy hook up people who need stuff done with those willing to do it.
People in your local community are often available to do things when you're not available, but they also might have skills which you need to tap into, things like handyman skills or electrical skills or even design skills.
And that includes some super crazy stuff.
We've had everything from someone who paid another person to fly over to Texas, pick up an engagement ring and bring it back to Australia, to people paying others to line up for them for the Game of Thrones exhibition, which was a 6-hour line.
You can even pay people to go on dates for you.
We don't jump out of trees and take photos when you're not aware. We simply go to a person and take photos and verify that that person is who they say they are. That ensures that you are, in fact, dating who you think you are.
It's great to meet you, Kerrie, but I have to say you don't look anything like your photo.
Oh, you can talk, Charlie Pickering.
Sending someone to stalk them is probs not the best way to attract a potential crush, but if it does work out, you can hire a bridesmaid to do all the annoying wedding tasks no one else wants to do.
Why not let your best friends have a great time with you and not have to worry about all of the details? Let me do that for you.
So with stats showing we're busier than ever, is all this outsourcing legit, or are we just too lazy for life?
I like that.
I am mad for a bit of outsourcing.
Oh, the balloon blowing would make life so much easier. The number of times I've thought, I need 50 balloons blown up, and I can't be bothered.
I'm mad for hire a hubby. And it's embarrassing, but it's better them doing work around the house than me.
Doesn't Jim just do it all? That's what I thought.
Jim, no, hire a hubby, mate. Seriously, get on board.
Good. Would you like to throw to the break, Kerrie?
Oh, sorry, I'm tired. You do it.
More after this.
Coming up on the project, how do you get your kids to eat healthy food? Whatever you do, don't mention the H word. And when you've caught a tuna this big, well, I don't want to meet the one that got away. You're watching The Project.
Welcome back. You're watching The Project.
Well, Sydney mother of 2, Karen Wright, may have a world record on her hands after catching what's believed to be the biggest southern bluefin tuna ever caught on a 15-kilo line. It took her 35 minutes to reel it in. It weighed a whopping 144 kilos. How's this? Enough to make about 20,000 rolls of sushi.
I did actually catch it with a broken finger. That just went out the window. Totally forgot about that. It was just all a matter of focus. Get the fish, get the fish.
All right, forget about the broken finger. Exactly how happy was Karen?
During the fight, I didn't know, but I knew I had something serious with the way the reel was screaming off. I knew that this was a serious fish, but I didn't realise how big. When it did hit the deck, I sort of went, Oh my God, that's bigger than Brett Lee's.
Brett Lee's fish, okay?
Jackie Lambie just went, what? What? And whatever you do, don't tell kids that healthy food is good for them. American scientists now believe that information like carrots will help you see better or only makes them less likely to eat carrots. Researchers say parents are better off saying nothing or just emphasising the yum factor. You can't just say, oh, broccoli, yum. Yeah. It doesn't taste yum.
That's right. What if you called broccoli ice cream from day one?
No. See, the beauty of it is, with a 15-month-old, I'm still pureeing. So I'm just going to keep pureeing.
Do you know
I never have to distinguish the vegetables.
There's actually a book by Jerry Seinfeld's wife, and it's about how you can make, like, brownies and chocolate cakes and things like this, and then you put pureed, like, cauliflower and carrot and all this stuff in there, so your kids never know they're eating veggies and they just think they're eating, like, cake all day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's a whole book on it. Go check it out. It's really good.
It's great.
I don't know why I read that book, but I did. And my son's in the audience tonight, so...
Yeah,
is that why the brownies always taste so crap?
Yeah. Stay away from the cakes, Ollie. We asked you, what's the best way to get kids to eat healthy food? 7% said tell them it's healthy, 32% said tell them it's yummy, and 61% said tell them to eat it! And that works. It does.
Fair enough. Now, ladies, buckle up. The long-awaited trailer for 50 Shades of Grey is finally here.
What was he like? He was polite, intense, smart,
Can we watch it?
really intimidating.
To what do you owe your success?
I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
It must be really boring.
I'm incapable of leaving you alone.
Then don't.
I had a rough start in life. You should steer clear of me.
And we had to stop it there because it gets a little bit racy.
Really? Because I was going to say, that ain't very different. Not that I've read the book, but I thought it would be far racier than that.
I know, but boring. I haven't read it either. Sometimes I think I'm letting the agenda down by not reading it.
No, you're not.
I know, but I see them in the lift and I think to myself, it's so unrealistic because you'd be panicking the lift's going to stop and someone else is going to get in, as if that's ever going to happen.
Oh, you're so romantic.
Yeah. Seriously, not the lift.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the Metro Whip. For the Metro Whip. And first up in Brisbane, we've got Adam Cox standing by. Hey, Adam.
Hello. Well, Brisbaneites, if you're looking to try something different this weekend, why not come down to River Life and have a go at the Wild Winter Experience? They got the Segway tours. They also got the kayaking tours. I'm not sure if she's doing it the right way, but those guys over there have definitely got the right idea. And the best thing about it is when you come back, they give you wine, they give you prawns, there's live music. Just go to riverlife.com.au for details.
Out of Perth, where Heidi Anderson is making her Metro Whip debut. Welcome, Heidi.
Hi guys, I'm here in the Central Park in the CBD here in Perth. I've been hanging out with this gorgeous girl all afternoon. We are celebrating her life, presented by Linton and Kay Galleries here in Perth. Now, you are celebrating your 5th birthday, so Maz, are you going to sing for us?
Probably not.
Oh, okay, that's awkward. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Heidi. On to Melbourne now, and hello to Matt Saraceni. Hey, Matt.
3, 2, 1, go! Did you know that there is a World Hot Dog Day? Well, there is, and to celebrate, Luna Park is doing their first ever hot dog eating competition. There'll be a competition for the guys, a competition for the girls. There will be this bucket for any hot dog related emergencies. It all starts at 1 p.m. Free hot dogs for everybody! Make way for the champion! Make way! Make way!
Oh dear, thank you for that, Matt. Next up is Hayley Pearson in Adelaide. Hey, Hales.
Hello, it's the Winter Red Festival in Adelaide this weekend. 40 wineries across SA showcasing food and wine. This is actually Ribena. I'm 5 months pregnant. Who am I kidding? It's also the final weekend of Winter Wonderland. Last time to check out this amazing ice skating. Just remember, if you do go ice skating, this is what you think you look like when you're ice skating, and this is what you actually look like. Yeah, remember that. Details online, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Hayley. And finally, Jules Schiller in Sydney. Hey, Jules.
Hi, Carrie. Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you because
I'm on a Harley Davidson, just being totally awesome, making a few fantasies come true. Forget 50 Shades of Grey, it's right here, baby, right here. I'm at the Discover the Americas Expo. It's on here. I don't know how to turn this off. It's on here at the City Showground this Sunday. There we go. What a graceful dismount that was. 10 to 4 p.m. Of course, you can come along and win an $18,000 trip to America, going Air New Zealand on their new Sky Couch. Take a look at this. It can fit 1 adult, 2 children, or 1 South Australian and 48 boxes of Krispy Kremes. That's some champagne comedy right there, guys. Come along. It is on this Sunday, 10 to 4 a.m. at the Sydney Showground. Mention my name and the Dixieland Jazz will play.
Thanks very much, Jules. Thanks to all the Metro Whippers. And we have had a lot of feedback on the show.
The most important issue we've covered tonight.
Overwhelmingly, it's about the fart machine. Yeah, that's what it is. And Tristram on Facebook says, we already have one giant fart machine. Canberra.
We've got Ruth on Facebook who says, I divorced 2 fart machines, never thought to copyright them before kicking them out.
And Lyd on Facebook says we should combine it with the crap machine that's at Mona down in Tasmania. There actually is at the museum there.
Poo there.
Yeah, they can put the two together. They make actual poo. That's a truth. That's a real thing.
It's art. That's fantastic. That's it from us this weekend. Huge thanks to Fifi and Lehmo.